Hey guys, welcome back. If you are back, see me, hear me loud and clear, type clear in the chat box. Perfect, super. Had good break, had lunch. Let me know in the chat box what you had in your lunch. Kadi chawal, Chandan Singh. What about others? Rice, Rajesh, yeah, yep, rice. Tamarind rice, Rajma chawal from Delhi, Sambar from South, Pradeep Singh, rice. What about others? मूली के पराठे, राजमा चावल, सुपर, वड़ा. Yes, nice. Oh, biryani. Very nice. I miss biryani a lot. I have been in Hyderabad for the 5 years. So rice with ladies finger, rasam, super. Very nice, guys. I hope you had very nice break. Okay, got time to stretch your leg, and we are ready to start. Meanwhile, what you had? I had frozen kadhai paneer and the frozen paratha. My family is in the India, so I have got the kadhai paneer yesterday. Then I put in the freezer. It was there. Then we have here luxury to get frozen paratha. So I get frozen paratha and I made it hot and I ate. Yes, it was delicious and nice. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Welcome back. And if we are all set to go, I think we have only 111 people. I was expecting more. So type GTG in the chat box and we'll get started. Super. Okay. Now let's quick recap what we have did so far and then what we need to do next. Let me get my pencil. Yes, I got my pencil. And let's say you want to run application in AWS account. So first of all, you need your AWS account. Then to run this application, you need IP address. For that, you need to create a network. And this network in AWS called VPC. Then some of resources of your application remain public, and some remain private. Which remain public, for that you need to create the public subnet. The resources that will remain private, for that we need to create private subnet. To make a subnet public and private, we need IZW, and also we need a route table. So we need to do some small settings. Also route table, small settings. Then NAT gateway in public subnets, and this will go in the RT, right? Then we also understood now to launch the server, we need a virtual machine, and this virtual machine we will get from AWS service called EC2, and this is called instance. Then we also understood and practically seen how to create EC2 instance, correct? Now, to run the application, what else you need? Let me know in the chat box. So Hari is saying my screen is black. Is this for the everyone, guys? No. So Hari, make sure you have the right internet connection. Okay, it's not people saying no. The Joel is saying the database. Exactly. Assis is saying we need the database to run our application. Perfect. Anyone else? What else you need to run our application? Harish, yes, rejoin it. Perfect. So to now we need a database, okay? And to get a database in AWS, we use service called RDS, Relational Database as a Service. And AWS supports many database in cloud. Now let's quickly look into those list of the databases. So what you do, you can go on the cloud, sorry, on the Google and type AWS database services. And if you open this first link and here scroll down, you see AWS supports different types of the database like Amazon Neptune for the graph database service, Amazon RDS, this is managed service. You're going to look into that. Then for the NoSQL, we have the NoSQL database, Redshift and all. So this portfolio of databases is available. We can run in AWS cloud. Okay, so one way we can go ahead and use this RDS, right? Other way, we can also go ahead and you can create a EC2 instance here, right? And in this EC2 instance, we can install a database, right guys? If you agree, give me a thumbs up. Yes, we can do that, right? But okay, question is, so we can go ahead and use this RDS service to create a database. We can also launch a EC2 instance in the private subnet. On that EC2 instance, on virtual machine, we can run database because we can also run database on your physical computer, right? And your personal computer. We can also do same on the EC2 instance as well. What is problem when we are running database on EC2 instance in the AWS? Let me know in the chat box. Guys, feeling sleepy after food? I see very low energy. No, okay. What is the problem? Yes, Prabhu is saying if EC2 is down, then database is down. Right. Okay. So let's understand. I will explain you. Database is not all about installing the database and running on this EC2 instance. Okay. Database needs a lot of operational work like making your database high available. Okay. Monitoring of your database, taking backup of your database. Okay. All this needs a lot of effort. So imagine if you want to run a database on EC2 instance and you need to make a high available, you need to create another EC2 instance, then you have to set up a replication. Okay. And it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort. So if you don't want to do that, in that case, we can use Amazon RDS. Okay. Now, Amazon RDS supports different database engine. It supports MySQL, Postgres, MariaDB, and also cloud native database developed by Amazon. Okay, Amazon Aurora. Okay, so Amazon RDS is fully managed, high available, scalable database you can use in AWS cloud. Now let's directly go on AWS console and let's try to create this and we will understand this. Guys, sound good? Give me a thumbs up in the chat box. Super. Let's go to here console. Okay. And here, let's go our AWS and this instance is running for me, is asking me to resign it. Let me reload it. Now let me delete this because somehow it's billing to me. Okay, I not need this. Okay, so let's go ahead and instance state, and here we can terminate this. Okay, so let's terminate this. This is getting terminated. It will take some time. Now let's go to the RDS. Let's close couple of browsers that we not need it. Okay, now to launch this database, okay, you can click here, create database. Click here, and here we see two options. One is the standard, one is the easy one. Okay, if you select easy one, okay, you have less option to configure. Okay, and your database will be get created. Okay, but let's start with the standard one because we want to see some more options. Here we see these are all different types of database engine supported by RDS, like MySQL, Oracle, Postgres, MariaDB, MS SQL, and also AWS has this Aurora. This is enterprise grade cloud native database designed by Amazon Web Services. And this supports MySQL as well as Postgres. Okay, so we can use any of this database engine under RDS. Now let's go ahead and select here MySQL. We will scroll down, and then we have to select the MySQL version, which version you want to run. Let's go with the default. And very important things you need to keep in mind here. You see here different templates. One is a production, dev test, and free tier. By default, guys, I hope you are not sleeping. Put a special attention here. Okay. By default, you see production is selected. It means if you scroll down, okay, you will see this is selected a database instance type for you. Here 4 vCPU, 16 GB of memory, and 150 GB of storage. Okay, so mistakenly, if you don't care and just go ahead and create this in this AWS account, it's going to charge you that much amount. Okay, 2,270 USD per month. So just divide with the 30. Okay, then 24 hours. Imagine if you're going to run for the 5 hours, 6 hours, how much amount of bill you are going to get from here. Okay, so guys, make sure when you are learning and testing this, don't use this template production one. So always go ahead here and select which one? Free tier. So once you select free tier, okay, if you scroll down, and here you will see we have database engine. Okay, cost C17 USD, okay, per month, but this will fall under AWS free tier. Okay, so let me show you database engine, database instance. Here you say 2 vCPU, okay, 1 GB RAM. Okay, and if you open this is only showing AWS free tier 1. So always use this. Why I'm explaining, in the past I have seen people, okay, they did these mistakes and you have to pay this bill. So make sure you are using free tier template all the time. Guys, if all good so far, type good in the chat box. Super. Now, you see when we selected free tier, by default, availability and durability, okay, is got hidden. Okay. So here, if you go for the production or dev test, we can make our server high available, okay, just selecting this button. You don't have to do anything. Okay. Or you can also create a single instance, or you can also create a cluster here. Okay. Just you have to select and everything is done for you. So this is that simple. Okay. Now scroll down. We need to give the database identifier name. So this is name that will be visible on your dashboard. So let's call this boom mysql. Okay. Then database need credentials. Okay. So user is admin. Then we need to give the password. Let's call it auto generated. So this will automatically generate password for me. It will let us know at the end. Now instance configuration. Okay. So like our EC2 instance, we also need, what happening? Okay, something is wrong here. Okay. So we also need a database instance where we want to run this database. Okay. So again, you have to select the instance type here, and this is dbt3 micro and 2 vCPU 1 RAM. Along with that, we also need a storage, right? So what is this DB instance? DB instance is nothing but, again, this is a virtual machine, okay, where Amazon going to install this MySQL database and doing all this configuration. Okay, so it's also need memory and CPU along with storage. Okay, so default is 20 GB. It's fine as this is demo. Okay, scroll down. Then here we have the connectivity option. Let's not go into there. Now important things here. Okay, you have to select the subnet group. Okay, so subnet group is nothing but group of the subnets where your this database going to be launched. Okay, so you have to create a subnet group. If you don't, it's going to select default subnet group. Okay, do you need public access? Yes or no? Guys, let me know. Do we need this database as public access? If yes, type Y. If no, type Y no. Parivarat is saying no. Prabhu is saying no. Rajni is saying no. Pallavi is saying no. Shruti is saying no. No, because this is private. Ashish is saying, what about others? No, company data can't be exposed outside. You are right. Pallavi is saying security purpose. No, because this is a private. Exactly, guys, you are right. Because if you go and see our application architecture here, right? Technically, we are going to install Nginx. We installed on this EC2 instance. Now we are going to access it from the internet, right? So here we will access this instance, right? And this database will be accessed from this instance. So this database really not need public access. Okay, because this is only be accessed from our EC2 instance. So that's why we will go ahead and here select no. Okay, now again here we have the security group. Okay, so we have to tell who will access this database. So again, let's go back to our architecture. Here what we said anyone on HTTP and port 80 can access this application, right? What will be security group here? What will do here? Let me know in the chat box. What will be rule? Any idea, throw anything, so whatever you mind. In which case DB available publicly? No, so database is going to be accessed from this instance, right? This instance. Filter traffic for port 80. No, with this. So technically, if you understand, right, this database is accessed from this EC2 instance. So what we do, we allow, okay, so MySQL port 3306 access from IP of this EC2 instance. Okay, because this is what we need exactly, YP whitelisting. Okay, so this database only going to be accessed from this EC2 instance. So we'll say allow access of this database from this EC2 instance IP address. But this is not a good solution. Okay, I will tell you why. Because technically, when you're going to run this application, right, then maybe you are running not one EC2 instance. You're going to run multiple EC2 instance to make your server high available, right? So what we can do? We have another very good option. AWS Security Group supports chaining functionality. It means security group SG of this EC2 instance we can attach here. Instead of IP address, okay, it will become this security group. So technically, right, when you are going to launch any number of EC2 instance here, right, it will have a security group and it will have this same security group, correct? So what we do in this security group, this SC, we allow access of MySQL port 3306 from this security group or EC2 instance security group. Guys, if this is clear, give me a thumbs up. Super. Now let's go back here. Okay. And here we can accordingly, you can select the security group. Okay. Now scroll down. Okay. Now in additional configuration, okay, no, in advanced configuration, okay, you want to create a database, right? Palvi is saying not clear, Bhupati is saying not clear. Okay, let me explain once more. So guys, let me delete this. Okay, guys, try to understand this. Okay, so here what we did for this instance, we said allow HTTP access on port 80 from anywhere 0.0.0.0/0 from anywhere. Okay, allow access on port 80 on this EC2 instance. But this database we only want to access from this EC2 instance. We have one option here. We can say IP address allow from this machine, this EC2 instance IP address, okay, on MySQL port 3306. Now then I ask question, right, what about if we have here one more database instance? We want make this high available, right? So here you can go ahead and add another rule. Maybe you need to do that. If you have the 10, right, And sometimes this instance IP will get changed. A little bit advanced topic, we are not going there. Okay, it's become very difficult for you. Okay, for that reason we can do use security group feature called security chaining. So what is to here for this EC2 instance, we have security group, right? And this security group got attached to this one as well, this one as well, right? So here instead of IP address we use this security group. So what we are saying, allow access on port 3306 on MySQL from this security group. Now this will be the SG, okay, from EC to SC security group. Okay, so it doesn't matter how many EC2 instance you are going to launch here. Okay, all will have the same security group, right? So we are allowing access on port 3306 from this security group. So we are making it more dynamic. Guys, if this is clear, give me a thumbs up. Bhupati, Palvi, let me know. Super clear. Very good. Thank you. Okay. Now let's go back to the AWS console. So when you are creating this database, okay, Rajesh, exactly, you are right. Okay. Now here we have option when this database will get create, it will, okay, this database instance will get create, it will also create a default database for us. So if you want to do that, we can give the name. Let's call this boom. Okay. And this is a parameter group. This is used for some specific configuration. Let's not go there. It have the enable auto backup option. Okay, if you enable this, then it's going to take backup for you every day. Okay, then you have again a retention period, how long you want to keep this database backup. Okay, so 1 day, 2 day, 10 days, 7 days, up to 35 days is supports here. Okay, let's make 1 day for time being. And when you want to take the backup, okay, you can even select take backup in this particular time. This is demo, so no need to worry about that. Okay, then is support the encryption. Encryption means when you are using this database, this database engine is creating a storage, right? In storage you have data. So if you want to store, sorry, if you want to encrypt data at the rest, okay, you can use this encryption. Scroll down, again you have the maintenance window. So when there will be some minor update of operating system of this DB instance or database itself, okay, if you enable it, it will upgrade it. Okay, again you can define the time window for that. Let's not do that. Okay, this is your estimated cost, but if you're using new account, free tier account, okay, this will be free for you. You can go ahead and create a database. And database creation usually takes some time. Okay, so it's going to take some time. Okay, so let me close this and we will come back to you it in some time. Okay, now let's go back to our screen. So here we created a virtual machine where we can run our application. We created database, right? It's getting created. What else do we need? Let me know in the chat box. To run a application, right? What else you need? We need website, we need application code. So application will go in the EC2 instance, right? Virtual machine. Guys, I hope you are not sleeping after lunch. Pass a smile on, use a smile emoji. I want to see you guys are live with me. Yes, super. What else you need? Very good, very good. Network. Neha, we have already created network, right? We created EC2 instance for virtual machine. We created RDS, right? What else do we need to run the application? Okay, exactly, Ashish Kumar Yadav. You are right. We need a storage. We need a storage. Your application will have, okay, some data like videos, images, files, right? That need to be stored somewhere. For that, we use another AWS service called S3. गलत हो गया. Okay, S3. Simple storage service. Okay, this is looks like this. AWS S3. Okay, before that, okay, while database is getting created, I think let me take the Q&A. Okay, so let me know if you have any question on the database side. So now I'm looking at the Q&A. So let me know if you have any question about the database, then we'll go on the storage part. Meantime, I think database will be also ready. Guys, कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं है? All clear? और all clear? Okay. How to choose proper DB? Okay, so DB is something you need to decide, okay, based on your requirement. So there is, broadly we have two types of the database. Okay, SQL, NoSQL. Okay, so you need to decide whether you can go for the SQL or the NoSQL. Okay, once you decide, let's say for the SQL, okay, then again different database engine has the different features. Okay, so again you have to do some compare and see which database engine will be best suit for you. Okay, so these very detailed topics, let's not go there. Okay, but this is the ideal way. Chandan Singh is saying EC to SC demo session. Okay, I will do it. Okay. Can we create MongoDB in AWS? Okay, Senthil. So AWS directly don't support MongoDB. MongoDB, it support DynamoDB. And DynamoDB is NoSQL database and is quite compatible with MongoDB. So you can use DynamoDB. Kunjan, yes, you are right. Can we call it as three-tier architecture in this application? Ashish, no, this is two-tier architecture. Okay, if you see here, this is two-tier architecture. We have the application layer, okay, and we have the here application layer, you have the database layer. So this will be the called two-tier architecture. Okay, guys, I don't see any questions. So let's quickly see our database. Okay, and here database is got created. Okay, click here, view the details. Okay, and let me go here and close all these. Now you see our database is ready. Okay, its status is backing up, is taking initial backup of the database. Okay, now you can select from here, and here, okay, if you want to create a read replica, you can create from here. Okay, you can make this as a multi-agent. Okay, so now all these are just simple click. Okay, simple click creating a read replica and creating a multi-agent. Okay, let's not go in more details. Okay, otherwise you will be confused here. Okay, so it's so easy, so simple. Okay, you can also temporarily stop it if you want. Okay, and so many settings are here. You can take the snapshot, you can take backup. Okay, so all these options are available here. Perfect, guys. Now let's go back and look into the S3. Okay, so guys, all good? Shall we start on the S3? If yes, give me a thumbs up. And type GTG in the chat box. Good to go in the chat box. Super. S3 stands for Simple Storage Service. Okay, and this is object storage. Object storage means there is different types of the data. Okay, block storage, file storage, and object storage. So in object storage, you upload a data, then you can download it. It works in the fashion of write once and read many. So this is pattern. Okay, if you have the data like images, videos, right, we upload and then we use multiple times, right? So this is called ROM, read once, write many types of data. So this data is called object. This type of data where we store, this is called object storage. So S3 is the object storage. This is high available, fault tolerant database where you can store petabyte of data and access it from anywhere, anytime. Now, to store data in S3, okay, first of all, you need to create a bucket. You need to create a bucket. This bucket is nothing but a logical name where you are going to store your data. This bucket name need to be globally unique. Globally unique means if Anurag created a bucket name with Ansul Vishnu name, okay, then Ansul Vishnu cannot create this bucket name. If Chandan Singh created a bucket name with Amol Vinayak name, then Amol Vinayak cannot create bucket name with his name because S3 bucket name is globally unique. And this bucket, you can store unlimited data, okay, petabyte of data, and maximum size of a data could be 5 terabyte. By default, when you create a bucket, bucket is private and only you as the owner of the bucket, okay, and root user of the account able to access your bucket and data. And other than that, no one has access of it. When you store any data in S3 bucket, this data in S3 bucket, this data in AWS is called object. Again, this is AWS specific term. Okay, you need to remember it. Guys, if this is clear so far, give me a thumbs up or type GTG in the chat box. Okay, I will take you on the AWS console and we create a bucket, upload some data, and we'll try to see it. Super. Pallavi asking, not even AWS will have access of the data. Pallavi, no one else will access your AWS resources other than you, or you give the permission. So AWS don't access your data. They don't see your data. So this is standard cloud practices compliance what they has to follow. Okay. So they cannot see. Let's go to the AWS console. Okay. And guys, let me delete this database because this database is really not needed. We're not going to do anything and I don't want to get charged. Okay. So let's type here delete me. So always make sure, okay, when you are not using any services, okay, go ahead, delete that. Otherwise, you will get charged for that. Now, let's go to the S3, type S3 here and click S3. And S3, I have already, you see many buckets here. But now let's go ahead and create a bucket. And to create bucket, you need to click here, create bucket. And we have to give a bucket name. Okay. Now let me give this name as a Ankit. Ankit. Okay. And then we need to select the region where I want to create it. So it's Frankfurt. Let it be. Okay. And go ahead and create a bucket. Now it's not able to create. Okay, why? This is saying bucket name with same name Ankit already exists. Ankit, did you created this bucket with your name? Let me know in the chat box. And I have not created. This Ankit, what is in part of our group, okay? Ankit Pawar, maybe he's not created. Okay, but someone else already created. Okay, now to create this bucket name, okay, let me give his name full name. Okay, Pawar, Pawar. Okay, let's go ahead and try this. This is available. Yes, this is available. Okay, now this bucket got created. Now let's find this Ankit Pawar bucket here. Okay, and let's upload the data. Here we can upload the data and add the file, and then let's go ahead here and upload this data and upload it. Now it's got uploaded. Okay, close this and open this data, and here this is our object URL. Let me copy it and send it to in the chat box. Guys, go ahead and try to open it and let me know if you are able to access it. Error. Okay, error, error, no, error, no, yes. So ideally and technically, this bucket is private. Okay, so you cannot able to access this bucket. So what we need to do here, okay, we'll go here in the permission. Okay, okay, now let's go back to the bucket here. Okay, open the bucket and you have to go in the permission, and here we have see block public access, and this is on here. What is mean? This mean public access is blocked and this setting is on. So by default, this bucket is publicly not accessible. So we'll go ahead, okay, edit this setting and unblock it and go ahead, save. It will ask you to confirm and save it. Now guys, go ahead and try it and let me know if you are able to access it. No. Sudha saying no, Rajesh saying no. Senthil saying no, Ravi saying no, Mohammed saying no, Kavita saying access deny. Why? We made it public, right? This is designed like this only. So here you just said make it public. Okay, so you turn on this button, but this is not public yet. In past, what happened, it was quite easy. Just single click, you can make bucket public. And as I said, in S3, you can store petabyte of data. In the past, what happened, many companies did the mistakes unintentionally. They made their bucket public and everyone was able to access their data. Okay. So AWS makes sure you have to follow some steps to make it public. Now next, what we need to do, we need to add here another permission. Okay, that's called the policy. Okay, so let's go ahead and get the policy here. Okay, this policy, and we're going to add this bucket policy there. Here we'll click bucket policy and we will paste this. Okay, now here we need to change this bucket name ARN. Okay, I already copied this and let me paste this here. Okay, now let me save it. Then I will explain this. I will not explain this bucket. Okay, policy, because I have already explained. I hope you people understood that, right? So what we are saying now this bucket is allowed access. Okay, कुछ तो हो गया मेरे पेंसिल के साथ, it's not working, I don't know why. Anyways, okay, so we are saying here, okay, allow get object data, okay, from Ankit Pawar bucket. Okay, principal means anyone. Okay, now guys, go ahead and try and let me know. It's visible now. Pawan is saying visible, Rabi is saying visual. Yes, perfect. Okay, now this is works. Okay, so guys, so important things for you as a cloud engineer and a cloud architect, you need to understand by default bucket is private. If you want to make it public, you have to follow all these steps. Okay, now there's many more features in the S3. Okay, I think if you go in that details, okay, it will take so much time. Okay, so let's not go in that detail. Guys, let me know if everything is clear so far. Type good if this is all clear. Let's go back to our architecture and now we see what we have now. Okay, let me little bit clean up this architecture. Okay, okay, so now what we did, this is technically we have everything, okay, to run the application in the cloud. Okay, so we have the virtual machine. Okay, we have the database, we have the S3 to store the data. So Sami is saying what you have covered so far, let me know. So Sami, what you see on the screen, this is what we have covered so far. Okay, guys, now let me take your questions. Guys, now, okay, let me, okay. So guys, this is clear so far? All good? Means this is what we have covered. Okay. So account, BPC, network, EC2, RDS, S3. So this is basics, fundamental, what you need to know when you are getting started with AWS. भाई सब कोई हंस रहा है यार, आखिर एक ही बंदा हंस रहा है, continuous is just is clicking smile 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 smile. Okay, so this is what we have covered so far. Okay, so guys, this is all good. You have the basic fundamentals to get started. Super. So he's saying, Justin saying, I have a quick review what we have did so far. Okay, I will do it. Okay, let me take if you have some guys. Now it's time for the ask question. Okay, so let's put your question. Okay, see from here I can go in depth, as much depth if you want. Okay, but I think, okay, you have already spent around 4 hours with me. Okay, and let's do the quick recap. Okay, and ask some general questions if you have about your career, about your future, AWS. Okay, and maybe what next I will explain you here. So far, just quick recap what we have did. Okay, we have understood how to create AWS account. Okay, let me get other pens, color pencil. How to create AWS account. Then we need to create network. Okay, then public network, private network, how to make public network. Then we understood how to launch a virtual machine from the EC2 instance. Then RDS to launch a your database. Then storage to store your data for your application. Guys, questions should come all in the question will all come in the Q&A section. Okay, not in the chat. I will take you all questions from the Q&A section. So type in the Q&A section, not in the chat. How to clone RDS across multiple environment like dev, test, stage, prod. Senthil, if you want to clone it, you will take the snapshot. Okay, and from that snapshot, you will create the new instance. I am fourth year student, new to this, but I understood the database part. Should I continue this or it is valuable for me? So anonymous, okay, whoever you are, maybe you joined late, okay? So we have covered everything here, what you need to know to get started, okay? Does AWS check every time which name is not created as billions of bucket name can exist? Yes, it should do. That's why it makes sure every bucket name is the unique. How to learn A to Z any free or paid courses? Okay, I will tell you. Okay, if people want to know how to learn this, okay, with any paid courses from me, let me know in the chat box. Type paid in the chat box. If you want to know about my paid course, I will let you know what course is available and how you can start there. How to get real time work? Because okay, because I will tell you, please do Python project, not workshop. Okay, this is AWS session anonymous. Okay, so it's not Python class. So sir, is this script written in the YML? Is that script is written in YML? Okay, you are talking about the this bucket. Okay, bucket name, this is created in, okay, bucket policy, that was the YML. Okay, that was not it was JSON, not YML. So my question is, bucket policy is the same, or do we have to do some changes on particular requirement basis? So bucket policies, the bucket policy what I have shown to you, this is very standard. Okay, and there I have given access to anyone to this bucket. Okay, so you can customize a lot. You can give access to the very particular person, particular AWS resources. This is quite customizable. cloud engineer has to do all these setups, then run the pipeline. Rajni, yes. If you're working as a cloud engineer, this all cloud knowledge is needed. Okay. Along with, see, you are not a DevOps engineer. Okay. So you not need to do this pipeline setups and all. That will be done by the DevOps engineer. For you, you have to mostly working on the cloud parts, setting up this infrastructure, automating with infrastructure as a code, and DevOps engineer will take care of creating a pipeline and all. But you should have knowledge of DevOps little bit. You not need to be the master. Can we install control panel on public EC2 instance? Create a database RDS host site. Can you describe how to configure this? Chandan, that's what we have explained, right? To create a install, create application and all, what we need to do. We need VPC, EC2 instance and all. Difference between transit gateway and VPC. Okay. So as of now, you have seen we have one VPC, right? So in real time, if you start working with a customer, then you will have the hundreds of the VPC. Okay. And these VPCs need to connect with each other. Okay. On the domain name. Okay. XYZ region. Okay. Then what you do, you can use VPC peering. Okay. So VPC peering connects to VPC, but there is a limitations in the VPC peering. So VPC peering is not transit. So one VPC and you have the another VPC. Okay. And maybe another VPC, three VPC. So VPC1 connected with VPC2 and VPC2 connected with the VPC3 is not mean VPC3 can connect with the VPC1. This is not transit. So imagine if you have the 10 VPC, how many VPC peering you need to create. Okay, it's become very mess. To give a better solution for that, transit gateway come into the picture. It works on hub and scope model. Okay, so this is a high level helicopter view or maybe difference, okay, from VPC peering and transit gateway. Where to deploy React.js, Node.js app, S3 or EC2? Leon, that's something you are doing on EC2 instance. Okay, if your application is dynamic, then you will install on the EC2. If your website is static, okay, with HTML, CSS, you can use S3 static website feature, okay, to run it. Where we can see Laga to see all this activity for the example EC2 instance creation. This question is not clear. फिर से लिखो. Pawan, I have explained this multiple times. Okay, difference between IGW and NAT gateway. Sir, I am last year a student. I want to make project and I can put in a resume. So what can be beginner project I can do with? So I'm planning to deploy a two-tier application architecture. Sometimes I will do a small workshop, maybe next week. Okay, so keep close eyes. You can attend that. After that, you will be able to put in your resume. Is there any admin role privilege to manage AWS console for creation or user access part, or is that also data engineer or developer need to cover? Sudha, this basically depends organization to organization. Okay, so in most of the organizations, if you work for a big enterprise, so AWS account, okay, account access, networking will be already present there. Okay, so you will be only creating these AWS resources and infrastructure. So you won't get opportunity of doing that. But if you are part of the small organization, okay, then you will be doing this as well. It depends organization to organization. As a fresher, it is easy to get job about having solution architect certification. Anurag, solution architect certificate itself says you should have at least 1 year of the working experience, right? Go ahead and type in AWS certification. Okay, if you go and type and see, okay, let's not go there. Okay, so it says you should have 1 year of the 1 year of the experience, and we are going and planning to get this certificate. So this certificate, again, you see this is contradictory. So having this certificate not justify you have 1 year of the experience. Rather than, I would say, okay, get a very solid knowledge on AWS. And when I'm saying very solid knowledge on the AWS, I mean AWS 4 core services: compute, storage, networking, and database. And top of that, identity and access management, then high available architecture. Very solid knowledge. Complete 5 to 6 project, and then write some blogs, some articles, put in your portfolio. Okay, it will speak more than, better than a certificate. Certificate didn't say you have those knowledge, but when we have this 5 to 6 project in your portfolio, in a resume, if you write the 5 to 6 blogs, that will be more than that. Okay, this will speak itself. How to get 5 to 6 project? Okay, Kamal, I have one paid program. Okay, we have there around 50 assignments. Okay, so this is something there. If you talk about the free, you can go and find something on the GitHub and all. Okay, this is, you can find some project on the GitHub. You need to find out, okay, and do it there. Okay, so that could be the one option. As a fresher, easy to get job abroad. सॉल्यूशन आर्टिफिशियल सर्टिफिकेशन, सर्टिफिकेट से जॉब नहीं मिलेगा अनुराग. ओके, तो अब्रॉड तो भूल ही जाओ, इंडिया में भी मुश्किल है. Guys, I see so many people asking paid course details. Guys, let me know in the chat box if you want to know about my paid course detail. Type paid in the chat box. I will show you. I will tell you more about my paid project details. Type paid in the chat box. I see so many paid. Okay. Okay, guys, let me show you. Okay, let me tell you about my paid program. Give me a moment. Guys, can you see my screen? You see, type what you can see on my screen.